If I may, I'll just say the date is January 28th, 2026.
Thank you, Kim. It's just telling me my storage is low, so I think I have to zip in and try and delete something that I forgot to delete. Anyway, in the meantime, we could go ahead and do the Bivens decision. John, would you like to start that?
Sure. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the second time? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the third time? Hearing none, anyone who's here under false pretenses, anyone who's working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who's being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. I yield.
Thank you, John. And so I'll go ahead and ask if anyone would like to offer a prayer to help us start our meeting. And hearing no volunteers, I'll go ahead and proffer my very basic prayer, which is, we ask our Creator to grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so your host, Tom Phillips, and as Kim said, the date, today is the 28th, January 2026. This is the Connecticut General Assembly meeting, and I'll read the preface. Welcome to the Connecticut General Assembly meeting. We are standing on our land and soil jurisdiction nation called Connecticut. We are here to restore our birthright government, a Republican form of government, of the people, by the people, and for the people. A government whose primary duty is protecting your individual unalienable rights, freedoms, and property. You and I are stepping forward to voluntarily serve our fellow Connecticuters in pursuit of this ongoing challenge. We are assembled here to focus our time and effort by studying, sharing, organizing this organic body into a coherent working group with committees, affirming for the greater good of the people of Connecticut's 8 counties. Thank you for stepping forward as a volunteer, reclaimer, and restorer. So now we'll do the county roll call. And as I call out the county, please respond to here if it's your county. Fairfield County.
Here.
Litchfield County. Hearing none. Hartford County. Also hearing none. Middlesex County.
Here. Here.
New London County.
Here.
Here.
New Haven County. Here.
Here.
Holland County. and finally, Windham County. All right, so that concludes our opening portion of the meeting. And we would normally follow with committee reports, news, announcements, any old business, and then new business. I haven't been doing an agenda, and certainly we could work on that if anyone thought that was important. But there are four main topics that I wanted to kind of go over today. There are things that have been done by other assemblies, and so I just wanted everyone to be appraised of what the other assemblies were doing, and if they thought, we need to take similar action, we could start working on that. So the first item, this is in no particular order, is that Ohio and Texas have been creating a separate LRO with the goal in mind that every state with their own server, or even renting out a server from this fellow in Pennsylvania who has a business, is a national, has a business restoring servers, so that they can, each state can have access to their own land recording office, and so that they can have a much more useful database that will allow them to do mailing lists and committee lists and other things that are kind of essential for assembly organization, as well as being able to do credential cards for your state. Now, the Ohio, Lisa State for Ohio has been holding meetings. She's had, I believe, 4 or 5 now. It's typically on a Wednesday night every 2 weeks, I believe. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to attend the last 2. But she's not doing one tonight, so I'm not missing anything tonight. But what we really need is someone who's tech savvy, who would like to join those meetings and bring back a proposal to the General Assembly about how we might engage and what the costs might be and all that sort of thing. So I'm kind of putting out there tonight to see if anyone has any thoughts about who would like to maybe tackle that initiative. I don't feel qualified to really do it myself. I can kind of field the information, but my plate's already pretty full, and I probably wouldn't be able to give it the attention that it requires. So does anyone have any thoughts about that? Any recommendations? Any ideas I'd like to put forward? Okay, I see we're swamped with volunteers.
If I may, that seems like an awfully big job, and you'd have to be awfully confident in your technology ability. And to be frankly honest, I'm not that tech savvy. I'm lucky I can get by with doing what I could do.
Well, I certainly wasn't asking someone to run the whole shooting match. I was just thinking that if someone a little bit more versed could attend the meetings and bring back a proposal, maybe that's contingent on us having an IT team. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to put it out there. I didn't want this to go unannounced and unexplained to the General Assembly. So that's the main purpose of what I'm doing tonight. And, who knows? Tomorrow maybe we'll get a tech expert who wants to jump right in. Anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. And maybe I'll bring it back around.
If I may just comment on that one thing before you go away from it. Just so you know, and you probably get them too, but I am getting the invitation to the IT meetings via email. So if anybody wants that connection, yeah, it would help. It would help if we had an IT committee, but I can try to get in the meeting at least and see, what they're doing as far as gearing towards the LRO for each state. I think it's an awesome idea once we can get there. And maybe I can report back some information.
Right. Well, from what I did hear, and this is kind of old information now, what this fellow in Texas had done was he had organized in an open source database with password protection and everything, so that we could enter our LRO information into this database and have a searchable, organizable setup. And Kim, you're probably more familiar with the LRO as it is now, but it doesn't seem, there seem to be a lot of people complaining about its functionality for use for the assemblies. Anyway, so that was part of what he was doing. And then the other part was kind of connect with someone who could, do the server, loan out a server or whatever. I don't know what he was charging, but for a reasonable fee, instead of having to buy your own server and maintain it, he would maintain it, and all you'd have to do is set up the connection. Anyway, so keep that in mind. So the other thing, and we've talked about this before, was that some states, and I'm pretty sure it was Montana now, but don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, that had, as an assembly, had sent out Anna's 13-page notification. I think, John, that might have been the one that you were using as well. And so just a reminder that that's what other assemblies are doing. And Anna just mentioned in her most recent webinar that we should be addressing the particulars of the things that we want the de facto to do to our Secretary of State or to the United States Secretary of State, possibly both. But it's particularly important that we be voicing our concerns and giving direction. So that's something we can do in spite of our fledgling size. And so just a reminder that, if anyone has the inspiration that they want to do something, maybe based on whatever is currently happening, maybe it's driver's licensing, maybe it's school propaganda, maybe it's geoengineering in the sky. Anyway, please keep that in mind, and we welcome anyone who wants to take the initiative on any of that. And then the last thing is that Barry Som is set to release. She said it was going to be at the end of this month, which we're very close to, the new and revised How to Build an Assembly, which is the complete training manual that we probably all need to read, that gives us all the intimate details of committees that are needed, and standing up the pillars, and all the the nuts and bolts of it. Running a good orientation committee and having good outreach, all the things that I'm sure we could make some improvements on. And you can get to that How to Build an Assembly through the Mega Drive. You can also get to it through TASA, and see if I can pull it up on TASA. Maybe I'll do a screen share here. So everyone see the TASA site up? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the educational information, and I believe I'm under handbooks here, but I'll just double check here. Let's see. Handbooks. As the Blood Money series. Right, so it's the General Assembly Handbook, Coordinator's Handbook. And then there's also a Rumble link that I should put up as well. And those are for recorded. So if you just want to listen to, if you don't want to read, or if you're traveling and you want to fill in the blanks and that kind of thing, you can go to Rumble, and it's under How to Build an Assembly, and you can pull up that site, and it has, I believe, the entire collection. Rumble has kind of rearranged it so it's not necessarily in order, but you can go through the entire revised version on Rumble. Exactly where it is on this TASA site, I'm not sure. Anyway, for those who'd like, maybe what we'll do is we'll try and get those links in the next newsletter, so that people can access it. Or I don't know, what do you think, Kim? Could we put it in the link tree maybe?
Yeah, as soon as I can find it,
Okay.
I will try to add it to the link tree. I need to work on the link tree anyway.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Anyway, so those were the 4 things. I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share here that I wanted to make sure we covered tonight. And does anyone have any comments or things they'd like to discuss about those 4 things, like sending out notices or studying how to build an assembly or sending letters to our Secretary of State?
If I may, the letters that we did send out to de facto, I don't know if everybody's aware, but I did get one response back, and that was from the Secretary of State. And it was the same thing we've gotten in past. It's just a standard letter saying we don't know how to file this. Mm-hmm. So reading some things further down, I wonder if it wouldn't be better if they were put in I had read somewhere that if you send a letter to the Secretary of State in the form of a affidavit and they don't file it, they can be held liable for it. So the letters that we've sent, obviously, were just letters. They weren't in affidavit form. And, of course, they play the same game, play stupid. I don't know how they want me to file this. But I have yet to receive anything from the governor's office, the lieutenant governor's office, the attorney general, or the adjutant general. I've heard nothing. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that.
Well, I'm certainly open to reframing them in affidavits and trying that approach. I haven't done a whole bunch of research about that, but possibly Anna might have some, comments. Anyone else have any thoughts?
Yeah, I sent the Secretary of State the silver bullet in the form of an affidavit with raised seals, and they returned those, which is like mail fraud at that point. They don't know the law, they don't care, and since they're not getting in trouble for anything they do, they're just going to keep doing it. I yield.
If I may, Kevin, if you did send that to her and it did get refused, I think you can lien her at this point now.
Yes, that is no doubt my next step. I need to lien her and about 500 other people. And it's so backed up, there's no way that you can do. It's just like I've put so much time and effort and even money into it and gotten nowhere. It's just takes the wind out of your sails a little bit. And
absolutely. I understand.
For me, it's clear as day with all the problems I've had in the court is we need enforcement, and it's so hard. And until we get that, I think we're going uphill until we get enforcement.
We need to have a marshal. We need a sheriff. We need a marshal.
Yeah, that reminded me. I know that Eric Albert threw his hat in the ring for sheriff. Have we made any progress or talked to him about or decide to take a vote? The only time I ever seen him was at the restaurant there back in November. And I feel like if we take the vote on him, that might start to get things rolling. He can start working on deputizing how many ever people he wants to. That'd be a step in the right direction. But I don't know, do we ever hear from him?
I have not personally, no, but how about you, Kim?
No, not since the meeting and the email. But yeah, I mean, it's still on the table. We can decide to move forward with that if we want to go through the steps. I guess he has to be vetted and so on, and then voted on, right?
Exactly. There would have to be an election held. We also have the potential of a court of record. I'm a little sketchy on the actual details of that, but apparently in a court of record, what you're doing is similar to an affidavit, is you're presenting evidence and putting it on the record. And then further, I'm trying to remember now who was talking about it, but the Continental Marshals, the second phase of the Continental Marshal program is going to be having 10 area marshals, one for each, digit in the zip code.
Yeah. And then they said they were going to do one for each state.
Correct. I would expect the state thing to happen last, but even if there were someone that was connecting with people in New England area, connecting with the Leos, and that might offer us, some potential avenue in, create some inroads. Anyway, all thoughts for us to ponder and research. It's got to be frustrating, Kevin. Can't imagine.
No, it is very.
Oh, one thing I wanted to say is that Terry Somm is very adamant about, at the end of the silver bullet process, you must file a lien. And she goes through the whole process of doing it through the state of Colorado. I think it's $8 every time you do it. And that's what actually puts some teeth into it. That's what actually irritates them and annoys them. Whereas pretty much they can ignore just about anything else. But actually, the lien process is part of their world and constricts their operations and their ability to, to continue their frauds. So, Terry Somm says, Kevin, go out and lien them. All right. So, I didn't have a whole lot else planned. We did get our in-people meeting rescheduled, I believe. I know we talked about it. And I don't see Rebecca on the call, but she's been the one setting up the reservation at the I'm probably going to get the name wrong. Stonebridge Inn, is that right? Anyway, so I believe we ended up with February the 18th. Is that, have that right?
Sounds right.
I'm looking it up. Hold on. That's a Wednesday, so I don't think that's right.
No, it would have been a Sunday.
So, oh, I thought I put it in here. Darn it. Let me look it up in the email. Hold on. So Sunday the 15th.
15th. And so, thank you, Kim and Anita, for sending out the notices, and presumably we'll get the same great stuff going on. Maybe there won't be as much snow.
Yeah.
Can have a good meeting. Yeah, exactly. Fair.
If I may, can I ask Kim a question?
Please.
Did your cup of snow melt yet?
It took 2 hours and 5 minutes to get water at the bottom of the glass.
Did I send you the picture? There was a video I saw with a guy with a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to melt the snow, and all it did was burn. He had to put oxygen within the acetylene torch with it to get it to melt. That blew my mind. And then it wasn't that long after that, then you did the water bucket.
And then, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My sister did the same thing, and she sent me a picture of burnt snow.
Mm-hmm.
And it sat on her counter for 4 hours before it turned to like a slushy stuff. She lives in the...
Oh, no, they're not spraying anything in the air. I guarantee it.
And people are so funny because they think what you're trying to say is that it's plastic snow, but how come it goes away eventually? That's not what we're saying. We're saying that it's not pure water, God knows, not even close, and that all of the stuff in it is keeping it's not just water, so it's not acting normal. And then there's people on, at least what I saw was on Facebook, and they're putting it under microscopes, and it's got those funky X-shaped, thingies in there. And
I have a friend of mine who is an artist, and she paints different things, and she does snow scenes all the time. But she happened to go right out to her car with her phone, and she showed the flakes on the car, and that's exactly what they were. They looked like little threads crossing each other. They weren't actually. She said, "I've never seen snowflakes like this."
Oh my God! Look at that.
Yeah, Dane Wigington Geoengineering Watch describes it as nucleated ice, and if you watch his most recent report, he's going into that extensively and how that's all been developed and patents are for it.
Yeah. A lot of crap in it, and there's people are also sending it off to be analyzed. So, like Pasca did with the water.
Well, Pasca did that 2 years ago, and nothing ever came of that.
Yeah, prove, and nobody does anything. So what does that tell you? It is frustrating. It puts you right back to the same. Send a letter. Lean somebody, what else can we do for now? That's all we can do.
Somebody, right. They need to, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to hang.
I would like to, have the HARP bombed or something, so HARP can't do what.
I always fantasize about shooting them out of the sky when I see them. I get so angry when the sky is just, every day.
It was
the 3 days. The 3 days prior to this weekend snowstorm, they were up there spraying every day. Every day.
So heavily, bad. Yeah.
They were spraying again today, even with the clouds later in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I looked up and
I saw that, Kevin.
Again. God only knows what they're hitting us with, but we are under attack. We are officially under attack from the quote-unquote government. And it's just amazing how many people either don't even see it or realize it, or they make excuses that don't know those are contrails. It'll blow your mind.
I put a link in the chat to a video on some of it.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to go try it with the snow to melt it, but I didn't want to touch it. I didn't know what's in that stuff. So.
Yeah. There's still people, I won't name names, that we all know, actually, that are even still saying, oh, I heard it was the white hats spraying good stuff up there. And
I've heard that,
I'm like,
too.
Let that go. That isn't it. If that was the case, that would be celebrated and talked about on the news, and it would be open. It would be out in the open. No, I let go of that several years ago. It's not what's happening. I wish it was.
Yeah, I got into a debate with someone trying to explain to them what could possibly be sprayed out of a plane that's good for us, even if they were spraying spring water. Then it's a question of who's paying for that and who consented to that. That's if it's spring water, which we know it's not spring water. Because what could they? And I don't know either. But even being creative, there's nothing you could possibly be spraying out of a plane that would be good for us. Absolutely nothing.
No.
It's the government. They're the ones that are screwing up our environment and blaming it on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's. I want to make sure this doesn't play while we're talking. Okay, I just queued up that YouTube video you put in there.
Yeah, and we're footing the bill for it all, both on the top and bottom with our health. But the question, how do we stop it? And that gets back to enforcement. Just keep coming back to enforcement. And they're coming hard. They know we're waking up. They got their Agenda 2030. It's now 2026, and they're coming for us. I know you guys know about the Georgia Guidestones. They spell it all out for us.
That was destroyed, you know.
By 2027.
Yeah, good. The people down there had enough with that. The Guidestones down in Georgia. Yeah, they blew it up.
And people are still cutting down and burning the 5G towers. I would love to see more of that. And that's what makes me think about, you know, I wish I could blow those things out of the sky when I see them. But,
you know, there are so many countries that have all kinds of protests going on against their government, but yet it just seems like all of us here in this country are all divided, and the government stands there laughing. You got one administration that lets the doors open, everybody in, and they're making money hand over fist over that. Next administration comes in, they want to get them all out, and they're making money hand over fist getting them out. So it just resonates that, you know, they just do anything. They play both sides against the middle.
Yep.
And there's no way anybody wins.
That's the Jones Plantation trick. It's the illusion of a choice.
Right.
It's just the game is to keep us distracted, and they're good at it. You know, everybody knows fighting about whatever's going on in Minnesota. I don't even pay attention, but that's where everybody's worried about Minnesota. As they're eating plastic in their air.
I got news for you. All that stuff's happening in a lot more states than just Minnesota. And I wouldn't be surprised if Connecticut's even worse. Because these guys are out and out crooks. They lie out of both sides of their mouths, and they say nothing truthful.
No doubt.
It's all about money.
Yeah. But it certainly is obvious, blatantly obvious, and so I think that's at least, if there's anything positive to say about it all, it's crazy. It's ramped up. You can't deny it. So few people, I would think, could deny any of this, what's going on, but I guess they have to see it to believe it. So, well, did you see the, where did I see? It was on Facebook. Sorry, that's where I always am. I hate it, but that's where I see things. And it was like a little news piece that the government finally admits that everything we've been saying about stuff being sprayed in the air is actually a fact.
Yeah, I saw it today.
Yeah.
It was in there today.
So it's like conspiracy theorists are up like 64-0 at this point. You know, like how many things have to be proven right before something gets done about this stuff? So I feel like we're going in that direction. Somehow we have to be. It's
but
just that
nothing ever changes. Nothing ever comes of it. No
Right.
matter how much we know,
right.
and how many people know, nothing changes. What can you do about it?
Right.
Enforcement, until we get it, we're in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to have our army. That's supposed to be what they are here for.
A well-regulated militia. And we need it bad against the tyranny.
I was extremely disappointed when I spoke to the city council that, like, outside of that one reporter, not a single soul came up to me and asked anything about anything that I said. And their eyes glazed over the minute I started talking, because before the meeting started, there were two of them that were up right in front of me. There was this one woman alderman and Peter Nystrom, who's been involved in politics in Norwich for decades. And she was laughing and joking about the thumbprints. So I knew she was talking about the paperwork I submitted, because I had submitted that to the city clerk's office on Friday so that they'd all have it. And the snide remarks, and as soon as I started speaking, boy, their faces just went.
Because they're evil.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
continue to forge the path.
The big purpose of that meeting was to change the zoning regulations for the city of Norwich.
Yeah, to benefit them.
Yeah, absolutely.
As always. Disgusting. Yeah, it's easy to get down, but look, we're trying, we're here. This is the only, every time I see something on there, I always comment, this is the way. This is the way.
Then why are we not gaining traction? We should be gaining traction.
Well, Connecticut is super, super. When you think about all the things that have happened in the last 20 years, you could pick any subject. Connecticut Northeast is always the last one to get on board. Always.
It's California East.
Yep.
Liberal land on the east.
It'll never change because they've gerrymandered all the we have no representation, or even the Republicans have no representation in this state.
Mm-hmm.
Even 40%, at least 40% Republican.
Mm-hmm. Probably more.
Probably.
All six New England states have at least 35 to 45% Republican, with not a single Republican representative.
Exactly, because they gerrymandered just like they were talking about doing to Texas.
Yeah.
Yep, it is very frustrating.
Not that the Republicans necessarily would be
right. The answer.
We know there are good and bad in both parties, and it's just
exactly
the most outlandish ones at this point are all Democrat. But I can remember a time when I was younger where Connecticut was a Republican state.
Oh.
But it goes back and forth. They're all playing the game.
Exactly. That two-party system is not the answer, and they just keep shoving it down your throat because it's the perfect division tool. Besides religion.
Today that the FBI went into Maricopa County. Was it that? What was the county in Georgia? Fulton County. They went into Fulton County's election headquarters today and seized records for the 2020 election. This is 6 years later. Nobody did anything to investigate it when all of it was coming out.
They only had
6 years later, now you want to go back and look? Something's wrong with that.
They only it was only law that they had to keep the records for 2 years. They were gone.
It's ridiculous.
Such
a joke. It's a joke.
Yep.
Yeah, it's disheartening.
I love you all.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm so thankful for you guys. Oh, my God. It's so hard.
I wish there was a magic pill that would help us get the word out more than we have.
I hear that.
You have to start seeing results. If you don't see results, then people just say, it's not worth it, You don't see results for anything.
No. But we have to practice doing what we're supposed to be doing, so that when the time comes, we can tell them what we're doing, what they should be doing, and there is a paper trail about, see how we told you that back then? Well, now the hammer's coming down, pray to God there'll be a hammer someday.
I hope I get to see it.
I know, me too. Hope I live long enough. Same with banking. Hope we all live long enough to see it happen.
This may be a little bit switching tact here, but I've put a link to a video in the chat. And while the video is probably, something like, over half an hour, maybe 40 minutes long, there's one section in this video by this guy where he talks about the 3 fundamental steps that you take to alter the reality around you. And I'm probably not going to get this exactly right, but basically on day 1, you're focusing on what you want, exactly the way you want it. And then day 2 is memory's failing me already. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that there are formulas for doing this, and what he points out is quite similar to what other spiritual teachers are teaching, with a slightly different twist at the end. So this is almost identical to what Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches. It's very, very close to what David Hawkins teaches and how to achieve any result that you want. The third step is feeling as if it's already been achieved. And this is quite similar to what Greg Braden tells us about how Jesus taught us to pray, in that you pray as if it's already arrived. It's already here, right?
Yeah.
And so the key point, maybe one of the key points anyway, is that we have to be careful about what we say, because when we admit, or maybe admit's the wrong word, but when we say that we're not getting what we want, when we say that the results are never happening, whatever it may be, we're contributing to that result actually occurring. Day 2 is the coherence part of it, right? You have to be aligned internally in order for it to work. You can't have the idea firmly in mind and not believe that the idea will work. That becomes an incoherent signal. Anyway, I encourage you to watch the video to get that 3 steps down, and we got to keep pushing any which way we can. This is just another way.
Thank you, Tom. That's good. That's an excellent reminder. Thank you. I'm going to watch that video. Maybe I'll even put that video in the newsletter.
Right. He's kind of obscure, this guy, autodidactic, which basically means self-learning. But he does have interesting content. He is very open-minded. Anyway, so we've reached almost to 8:30. Does anyone have more stuff they'd like to bring up? Any new business? Anything that they would like to bring forward? Okay, well, hearing none.
I shall make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone? Any seconds?
I second.
All right, excellent. Thank you. So thanks, everyone, for coming tonight. We didn't solve all the problems of the world, but we made a stab at it anyway.
That's okay, yeah.
Kimberly, let me know when you have all the stuff in for the newsletter. Just shoot me a message.
I will, yeah. Gosh, it's the end of January. I got to do some.
Love you all. Take it easy. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch.